Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. So today I want to have a bit of a discussion about Norsca. And no, this isn't what we've already covered before, but rather something that we've touched upon briefly. You see, Norsca is one of the worst race packs for the Total War Warhammer series. I know some people will say otherwise, but of course this is just my opinion. Now the thing about Norsca is they've not really been in a good place for a while. This is because they had some issues being implemented in Warhammer 2, and well, they've not really seen any updates, have they? Now, we've already talked about that and how Creative Assembly could make Norsca better, but what if Norsca was radically changed? Let's be completely honest here, a Norsca pack was really never needed for the Total War Warhammer series. It's one of those minor races and factions which, well, nobody really cared about. Their implementation saw them mostly be a reskin faction of the Warriors of Chaos. The fact of the matter is too that they're represented fully as if they were just chaotic warriors in Norsca, which lore-wise is not the case. But we're not going to talk about lore here. Instead, there's something that could be done to change up Norsca rather radically. And that's actually by dropping the Norsca name. Okay, hear me out here because this is one of these tinfoil hat things, but I believe it could be the best situation for Norsca as a whole. Norsca should be renamed to Tribes of the North, and there are a few good reasons why. So there was obviously not enough to make a Norscan army. A grand majority of their roster was basically reskins, and well, even if they went back into older lore, there's not much that could be added in. The only thing they really do have of benefit is a large variety of different lords and hero choices, and these are mostly through named characters. Right now, Norsca only has Wulfric and Frog, but there's actually quite a decent amount of known Norscans which became Champions of Chaos. Still, we've not seen any of these possible characters being introduced, and there are other possible start positions such as Skeggi, which was known in lore to house many Norscans as a possible start position, and still it's not a playable start position. Now, what Creative Assembly did to further flesh out the roster, barring the reskins, was also by introducing long-lost chaotic tribes such as the Famir and the Skinwolves, which were fairly recent in lore but didn't really get a lot of love. The Famir had not been in Warhammer Fantasy for a very long time. They got reintroduced around 8th edition, but even then, it was as a minor add-on. This worked very well for Norsca, and still, it's not in a very good place, which is why I think that they should be renamed to Tribes of the North, as this would then open up many opportunities for different race packs, characters, and so on. I think you can get the gist by just the name, but I'll explain myself. Imagine the eventual introduction of the Hung, the Snake Men of Koresh, the Kurgans, and so on. They don't really need their own race packs. They're all chaotic factions, and would probably be best served if they were all under one umbrella. Race packs take a rather long time to produce, I'm imagining. This is why they are so infrequent between each of the Warhammer Total War games. We really haven't had that many, and they generally are quite out there. More recently, all the race packs have been fairly well detailed, and it would be a massive shame if, say, a dedicated Kurgan race pack came out when really there wasn't a need. Instead, imagine possible cross-game DLC in the future which introduces Kurgans to both the Warriors of Chaos and Norsca. This is just a basic example, but we know that the Kurgans basically fight for the Warriors of Chaos. So if the Norscans were renamed to Tribes of the North, we could potentially have a start position over there in the Eastern Steppes. The units themselves could be usable by both, and yes, that's reskinning once again, however it's a good situation for that. But maybe if Norsca is the main focus for this cross-game DLC, that could also introduce, say, the Snake Men of Koresh, or some other chaotic tribes. It would add in loads more possible start positions for the northern tribes. Like I said, this would then free up possible development time for races which would warrant for a proper race pack. Say for example Ind or Nippon. We also have to keep in mind that there's also a decent number of army book races, the Ogre Kingdoms, the Chaos Dwarfs, and the Dogs of War that we haven't seen in game just yet. So they would obviously take the most importance. There's usually what, 3 race packs for a full game? Which is usually the case, yes. So that means that we've already covered all bases. Now, of course, this is the final game of the series, and it would make sense for Creative Assembly to milk it for all it's worth, but I still don't see the possibility of a Kurgan race pack or Snakemen of Koresh. Whereas if stuff of those possible rosters get added into Norsca as Tribes of the North, well, it will also help out the Tribes of the North. The roster is very uninspired at the moment, no offense to the DLC, but it's just really not, and some more variety could be very useful. More Lord choices, more hero choices, and more general unit choices would be fantastic. Make the Tribes of the North something truly special. It's something which is focused around Chaos Undivided, and its current Undivided mechanic works really well, where you could pick another god. Nothing else really needs too much fixing. Well, yes, there's a few things that do need fixing, but I'm talking about army roster more or less and keeping it with the whole chaos vibe in general. I think something like this could really work, and it doesn't sound like it would be a lot of actual extra work. Some random cross-game DLC featuring maybe Cafe versus the Tribes of the North, and you're already sorted. That could introduce a character in, say, the lands of the Kurgan or even in Koresh, with some added in units of Kurgan units and Snakemen versus a Cathayan character. We already know that cross-game DLC was wildly popular in Warhammer 2 and it deviated from the main game storyline, so this would be quite good. Yet it would still keep to the whole chaos theme of Game 3. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games, where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.